Coming into our final conversation for today, we are joined by two well-known faces, I should say. When you think of Om Shanti Belize and Martha's Cafe and Spa and cottage houses, there's a whole lot going on here. And we have with us Greta Martha Williams and Michelle Ashanti Williams, all of Om Shanti Belize. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So ladies, we're here to talk about Martha's Cafe and your vegan options, but it's also a great opportunity to kind of just look at your business model and what you're doing there, and more importantly, a family business as well.
Yes, it's a family business. Yeah, I always say we have a unique partnership because we have the advantage of 46 years of knowing each other. And if you count me in her belly, even longer. So we know each other quite well. And so I think with that, we really have an advantage in the partnership aspect. You know, there's a lot of trust, there's a lot of give and take, and like we were talking before, we balance off each other quite well.
Yeah.
I dream, she grounds.
So it started out first with just yoga.
Yes.
And you've grown, how long ago was it?
We celebrated a year for Martha's March 1st this year.
Yeah.
So a little bit like 18 months.
No, but since the first yoga studio.
Oh, since 2012.
Okay.
So yeah.
And then the idea of wellness kind of just grew from there.
Yeah.
It all happened organically. There was no planning.
There was
no proposal. We
Yeah.
didn't know what kind of money we were going to make, but Michelle had her yoga thing going, and I had a piece of land that I wanted to develop, and I thought, okay, fine, I'll put some cottages. And then we had the upstairs of the Harbor View. And then I thought, well, you know, why not make it holistic and healthy? So that's how the vegan vegetarian cafe came in.
Yeah. Well, also, since I turned vegetarian, I go through spells vegan, vegetarian. You know, she cooks, and so she's had to become a lot more creative in our cooking.
Yeah.
And then she pretty much eats vegetarian as well. She has some fish sometimes, but so, and also when we used to have our rock board meeting, she would cook for our board members, and they were all vegetarian and vegan. So it came from that, and then so she had pretty much a whole menu that was ready for the cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's how Martha's kind of opened up.
So a year ago, you created the cafe with vegan and vegetarian menu.
Yes.
Let's just, for people who don't know, what's the difference between vegan and vegetarian again?
Vegan is absolutely no animal products. Vegetarian has byproducts of the animal, which is eggs, butter, cheese.
Okay.
So those are distinct differences there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you offer vegan and vegetarian.
Just vegan, vegetarian.
And in a population where people have fried chicken for lunch and barbecue on Saturdays and rice and beans for Sunday dinner with
Guilty
chicken.
as charged.
Yeah. I mean, it's a risk, right?
It was definitely a risk, but I don't even think we thought, I mean, we didn't really think about that. We just knew how eating that way had benefited us.
Yeah.
And we saw the trend happening. And it's not that we're advocating for people to become vegan or vegetarian, but we want to offer, especially Belizeans, an option that if they're having a vegetarian day or a no meat day, that they have a place that they will always know that the food quality will be high, and you know, the food is made with love.
Yeah.
And people sense that.
Yeah.
And that they can come and enjoy it, and they could get a hearty meal. The way I describe it, it's like that home cooked comfort food, but with a healthy twist.
Yeah.
And we often find that there are people that come that are meat eaters we always recommend the lasagna for meat eaters, and they are quite
They're
happy.
amazed. They're amazed at the taste. You know, because seasoning has a lot to do with food. I mean, if you don't season meat, it doesn't taste very good. So we try and incorporate some seasoning that are traditional into the vegan vegetarian meals.
And I think that's such an interesting point, because we in Belize, we don't realize it, we eat heavily seasoned food.
Yeah.
So it's actually easier to eat a vegetarian meal, because once it has the same seasonings, it tastes the same.
Exactly. And we try to cut down our we try to cut down on the amount of salt that we use. We use only brown sugar. We have agave that we use. Also, we do offer gluten-free options as well. So people that also have gluten intolerance, we do have that. The brownies are not gluten-free.
I'm just watching.
We tried that gluten-free brownies. It wasn't. It didn't take off so well. But people want the real stuff.
I mean, if you're gonna have a brownie,
they don't have any eggs in those.
They're vegan.
Vegan brownies.
Yeah, they're vegan.
So there are no eggs, but we put bananas instead.
Okay.
So, Ms. Marta, tell us about your own discovery of shifting from what people would classify as regular cooking to developing vegan and vegetarian options.
Yeah. Well, mine came about because basically of health reasons. And it's a good way to lower your cholesterol. If you have a problem with your heart, again, the risks are lower. And so I decided that I wanted to eat healthy. I started to research recipes because I mean I'm not creative that much, but I do make some of my own food right now. But I started to research recipes, and Michelle had her board members there for ROC, and they were all vegetarians, and they'd come around lunchtime, and I thought, okay, this is a good time to see if these meals that I prepare will go, and they loved it. They loved it, and one by one I introduced a different meal and different menu, and I thought, oh, you know what? We could open this vegetarian place now because I've got a whole list of food that people really love. So that's how I came up with my vegetarian menu.
Isn't there a common notion that going vegetarian or going vegan is perhaps more expensive than it is to consume normal foods or regular diet?
It depends on, we tend to put a price on good things for our body. It depends on how you want to treat your body. Lentils, very healthy, very cheap, full of protein, fiber, It's a good meal. We do a lentil soup there that's quite tasty. And we add some ginger and some curry in it, and it really is a winner. We do a lot of chickpeas. Chickpeas, again, is high fiber, high protein. And, we mix that with coconut milk and some herbs and stuff. Brown rice. It's not expensive when you think about it.
Or replacing dip with hummus.
Yeah. I think that what has happened is junk food has become incredibly cheap. So if you're comparing packaged chips that are filled with monosodium glutamate and just fried food, it's become cheap. So I think you have to really think about what you're investing in your body and think about it that way. It has been known to be more expensive, but if you're comparing it to really, really cheap junk food, of course it'll come across like that.
And is it going to be filling? Because the other thing is, people look at a salad that you may get at a restaurant and it's rabbit food. I always feel sorry for vegetarians in the country. They go for a salad or they go get a vegetarian meal and it's iceberg lettuce and shaved carrots,
But this is also the notion, and
I don't do that. Not iceberg.
But I think also there's this notion that vegan vegetarian food, you're just eating grass, and that's not it at all. I mean, there's a lot of nuts involved. You can have flour. It can be it can be filling. You could have rice. So it's filling, and it doesn't really mean just salad and
look, we have brownies.
Exactly.
So what are some of the best-selling items?
The lentil soup goes down very well. Also the lasagna and the curry bowl. We do a Buddha bowl, which is all raw except for hummus in the center and raw vegetables around. And that is really, really a big seller.
It's like a burst of enzymes because we do 3 different types of peppers, roasted chickpeas, brown rice, olives, and what else? And then in the middle is our homemade hummus. And it is that's the way people have described it. It's like a burst of enzyme, and it's also really cooling in a very hot day.
Yeah.
So that goes that well. We've just developed a new Belizean power bowl, which is with black beans and rice.
Brown rice.
Brown rice.
Yeah, infused with cilantro.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's really tasty. We have a side of avocado, which you get your fats from there. You've got your plantain, baked plantain, and then there's a salad.
And then we
A green
drizzle it
salad.
with vegan cheese.
Yeah. So that you have some moisture, because the rice and beans need some gravy.
Yeah.
We put vegan cheese on it.
Now we know it's made by a Belizean
Yeah.
when you say that.
Like for instance, the vegan cheese that we have, it's not nut cheese. It's actually made from vegetables, and
You would know the difference.
You would not know the difference.
No.
We put it on our nachos. It's a nacho cheese. It does. It tastes just like like nacho cheese.
Yeah.
So it's we have to be creative, but it's just good to know. I think for people out there that are becoming more conscious. The other day we had a talk. Alexander Agay gave a talk about digestion, and the fact that the gut is our first brain, and what we put in the gut will determine how we think, our mental clarity, our energy level, everything. And he himself is a lacto-vegetarian, so but he doesn't force people, and he's not saying you can't eat meat.
Yeah.
He's just saying balance it off. Our digestion needs to rest. So if you're going to eat meat, take some time, let it digest, and in between have things that are easily more digestible, so the energy that goes to the gut can go into living and thinking clearly. So
And you know what, I appreciate what you said, because I think it's not about, it's difficult to think of our life eating something completely different. You really have to want to adapt a new lifestyle for that. But you can start incrementally. So maybe I'm a bit curious about what a vegan or vegetarian meal may be. I can go and try it and say, oh, well, I'd never imagined it'd be this good.
Yeah.
And maybe become more comfortable having it more often.
I've heard a lot of people saying they're not becoming vegetarian or vegan, but they're taking a no meat day or 2 no meat days.
Yeah.
They also the notion
one no meat meal.
One no meat meal. Also this notion of sugar, like when we first opened, we would have people come, and because we don't serve soft drinks. All our juices are cold pressed juices, so it's pure juice. There's no water. There's no sugar added, and when they tried it, they were so amazed that fresh juice could be so sweet and it could taste so good. So it's also shifting from relying on artificial sugar and getting your sugar, your sweetness from natural ways. Smoothies.
So 1 year later, what are the lessons you've learned?
First of all, the biggest lesson is that there's a slow season. Maga season. We felt it this year. But, we've added more stuff to our menu.
Yeah.
And, people want different things, and we had to get that together for them. And we learned that Belizeans are appreciating vegan, vegetarian. And they come there and they eat and they go, oh my God, I didn't think it would taste so nice. So it's just a matter of expanding your palate. We kind of close into our rice and beans and chicken. And if you only take time to just taste some other foods.
I think also what we've learned is because we take everything that we do, both my mom and I, we take it so seriously, and because it's our name on it, and so we've had to learn to manage our time. She's there in the morning. Every morning you go for breakfast, my mom is there until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, every single morning. And then I'm there in the evening. But I think we've also learned how to empower our staff and trying to teach our staff about the lifestyle and about what they're actually promoting at the center. A lot of our staff is now getting into yoga. We have a yoga teacher on staff at Martha's Cafe now, and the rest of the staff is getting interested, and they're also getting interested. They have a meal at the cafe. They're realizing that they can have a healthy meal every day, and that it doesn't taste any different. So we're realizing through the cafe, not only are we sharing to the Belizean public, but we've also got this little family that we're trying to nurture and to build as well.
And I mean, you haven't said it, but you do have an amazing view from where you're situated.
How could we forget that?
Blessings.
We do walk in every. There's always gratitude to that.
And we never take it for granted.
Yeah.
You know.
So
It's
you
just
are
lovely.
located on, tell us where you are and your opening hours.
We're on 4th Street, and it's right outside of the tourist village.
Yeah.
And on that property there, you'll find the
cafe,
the cottages, and also apartments.
Okay.
and then the studio, and then the
And the
yoga
stu-
studio.
Yoga studio and spa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're developing a complete wellness oasis.
Yeah.
So that people can come, Belizeans, foreigners, they can come, they can stay, and they can enjoy everything that we have to offer.
Nice. And you're open.
We're open from 7 in the morning for breakfast, right through at the moment until 7 at night. But November 15 will be open 7 in the morning until 7 at 8, 7 days a week. At the moment, we're closed on Sundays.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And just because you're eating healthy doesn't mean you don't get treats, because you can have your vegan brownie with my favorite, the turmeric ice cream.
I forgot
yeah.
the
I
turmeric
know,
latte
right?
ice
Yeah.
cream. That is
Yeah.
so good.
That is the best combination you
Yes.
ask for, and then you say, "Oh, this is healthy." All right, ladies.
Everything in moderation.
Moderation, yeah.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming in and sharing the work you've done. Congratulations
Thank
on your
you.
1-year anniversary.
Thank
and
you so much.
we definitely hope that more people will be willing to try something new.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and take that final break. When we come back, we'll have our wrap up, so stay tuned.